Hey guys, my name is Professor Cruz, and I'm going to be taking you through the next 12 weeks in this class, PHI 1600 Applied Ethics. I just wanted to make this little video real quick to tell you a little bit about myself and show you around the course a little bit so you can get started right into week one, because things are going to move a little quick in the next 12 weeks. Now, bear with me here in this video because I don't plan on editing it later. I'm just trying to make it for you guys to have and look at. So if I got some ums and ahs, just like I said, bear with me here, and I just want to get some good information for you guys. A little bit about myself. I'm a reference and instruction librarian on the Clearwater campus full time. So if you're ever on that campus popping around, you can come in and see me for help. I'm also an adjunct professor of applied ethics, and I am the coach of the St. Petersburg College Ethics Bowl team. So I take students on trips each semester to go debate ethical issues with other colleges and universities at various competitions, and that's something I really enjoy doing as a coach, and I also enjoyed doing as a student when I went to SBC. What I want to do today is kind of show you a little introduction to the MyCourse shell and talk you through this first week, because it's going to seem like there's a lot coming at you, but it's really not that bad if you take a look at it. But you got to keep in mind, in a 12-week class, we have to do everything that we do in a 16-week class. We just have 4 fewer weeks to do it. So the pace will be a little bit faster. What I've done with the course is I've tried to slow the pace down a little bit to get started so we don't get overwhelmed. So up until about week 8, we're going to do 1 module a week. And then on the back end, we have to do 2 modules a week to catch up. But I think that'll make sense as we go along through the semester, because you'll see that there's a big project that we do. It's a 4-part project, the critical thinking application process. And I'd really like to not rush through that part before we get to our midterm. So when you log into My Courses, you should see this icon in your courses. This is our class. So when you click into it, like any other class, you'll be in our course module. There's a couple things that I want to point out. This course is a part of the first day access for the textbook, which means you guys all have access to your textbook right now. You don't have to do anything to sign up for it unless you opted out. You would know if you opted out because you would have had to sign like 4 pages of paperwork saying that you didn't want the textbook. But as most of you probably already know from registering, that the textbook will be charged to you in your account, and you already have access to it. You don't have to put any PIN codes or anything. When you're on the course homepage like I am right now, all you have to do is go to this McGraw-Hill widget right here where it says McGraw-Hill Connect, and it says go to My Connect section. When you click on that, that links you to our section of the textbook. So here, this is what the instructor page looks like, but if I put it in student view for you real quick, this is what yours is going to look like. We have smart book quizzes for the chapters, and so you'll see those displayed down here. There's basically 1 each week until we get to those weeks where we have the double the modules. You don't have to work ahead on those, though you can. The way it works is each module has a quiz associated with it, and those quizzes are worth 15 points, and they're completion-based quizzes, meaning when you get to the end of the quiz, you're going to get the 15 points. If you exit early, you will not get full points. However, take your time and make sure you're making an honest attempt at answering the quizzes, because what it's going to do is if you get a question wrong, it's going to give you another one until you get the concept right. So if you just try to click through and get to the end, you're never going to get to the end, because it's going to keep giving you more questions. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But if you see right here, this little golden icon, the moral compass, when you click on that, that is your textbook for the class. And so when I click here, this brings me right into the textbook, and you can see it it saved me where I was the last time I went there, which it does that. But when you click table of contents, it has all the different chapters. This week, we'll be doing chapter 1, the foundations of ethics. We'll be paying particular attention to Dr. King's argument against legalism. your first assignment centers around his letter from Birmingham jail, which you can see here on page 15. Okay, but that's your textbook, so get in there and mess around with that and see how it functions, but you should have the ability to click on that when the class opens on Monday. Now, most of what you're going to do in the class comes through the course content, but I do want to talk about the homepage just a little bit more. The news items come down right here. You see below the textbook. So there's a welcome about the class. If you keep scrolling down, you'll see things about the textbook. I put a class assignment schedule in here, so it tells you which module we're working on each week and what's due and when it's due. So I like to be as upfront as possible about all the due dates and the expectations for the assignments. And so you can browse that as you go through. Also on the homepage, you'll see there's a calendar here that has upcoming events, and these are all your due dates. I've got all the due dates set for the assignments in the course. Now, over the next few days, I may be messing with some stuff, making some changes here and there in the course itself, but module 1 is set up and ready to go. So nothing's going to change in module 1 at this point. So feel free to get in there and start getting stuff done. This is pretty cool because if you click on this, it'll take you right to whatever the assignment is. So where it says module 1 discussion, 2 paragraphs, introduction, right? When you click on that, this is the actual assignment in the Dropbox for that assignment. So that's kind of cool. On your course homepage, it's going to remind you of due dates that are upcoming. Okay, so you definitely want to keep an eye on this kind of stuff on the homepage, particularly in the newsfeed and on that calendar. Now, like any course, I want you to familiarize yourself with the syllabus. So when you click here on the syllabus tab and you scroll through, you'll read the syllabus. You'll find all my different expectations for the course. It's very important that you make sure you go over those because this isn't like a face-to-face class where we're going to have the whole first day of, figuring out the syllabus. Essentially, in an online class, you're expected to read through the syllabus and ask the professor if you have any questions about it. But essentially, progressing on to week 2, you're in fact agreeing to the terms of the syllabus. So you want to make sure you know what's in there. Now, when you get to the course content, this is where you're going to find your modules, and we basically have them down the left. We're going to do, like I said, up until about the midterm, we're going to do 1 module a week. And then the last 4 weeks, we're going to double up on these social issues. But that should be pretty okay because they're not super intense with what we're doing in those modules. So week 1 will be in module 1, Introduction and MLK. Now, before we get there, I want to show you a couple interesting things. The course itself, as you'll see in the syllabus, is out of 1,000 points total, which means you need 700 points to get a C, 800 points to get a B, and 900 points to get an A. I do have extra credit opportunities in the course. So there's up to 100 points of extra credit, as you'll see in here. So that's, you can boost your grade 1 entire letter grade off of extra credit. So if you earned a B, you can bump yourself into an A. These 100 points are split up a couple different ways. You can earn 50 points from Dropbox assignments. There are the situational ethics, fallacies of social media, article credibility assignment, CTAP third application. There's 4 assignments here. Each assignment's worth 25 points. So if you do 2 of them, you can get those 50 points. There is actually an opportunity for extra credit events and activities that this college offers both on campus and online. These are like some of those activities. The ethics department does a Good Life series, and sometimes they have some available via Zoom. I'll let you know about those opportunities. If you're able to go to a campus, there'll be some on campus as well. But if you can't make it to campus, that's fine. You still have the opportunity to get 100 points extra credit. So the extra credit works as an aggregate total. So the way it works is there's 4 assignments there. Each one's worth 25, and you can earn 50 points on the assignment. So obviously you don't have to do them all, but let's say you do 2 of the assignments and you wind up with 40 points extra credit and you really want that 50, you can do a third assignment to claim those extra 10 points. So it's an aggregate total. However much you have to do to get to those 50 points, you can do, and you can secure those. Now, the other 50 points are, you'll see here, there's 5 chapters of SmartBook quizzes that I put in here that are extra. They're not chapters that we're covering this semester, but they're chapters that I think are interesting concepts to understand within the realm of ethics that I've taught before in other iterations of the course. So I've put them in there, and if you want to work through these on your own, these extra quizzes, you're going to get 10 points for each one of these that you finish. So your other 50 points of extra credit can come from doing these 5 quizzes. You don't have to do all 5. If you only do 1 or 2, that's fine. That's 10 or 20 points. But remember, this is that second 50. So you cannot supplement the other 50 by doing all 4 of those assignments to try to get the 100. It's 50 from extra credit assignments and 50 from extra credit quizzes. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to let me know. Also, all your assignments in this class are required in APA format. Now, I spent 9 years at the college as a writing tutor before becoming a librarian, and now I work as a reference instructional librarian, as I mentioned before. And both of those jobs actually have a lot of focus on writing and formatting. So what I've done over the years, I've actually created a great, bank of resources, if you will, for APA formatting as well as MLA. But in this class, we're only going to use APA. So understanding that some of you guys may not have a lot of experience with that, I've put like all the stuff you're going to need here to know how to do APA formatting. This is a sample paper. This is examples of what reference citations look like. These 2 resources are really cool. This one shows you how to build a reference citation within each element. This one shows you how to build an in-text citation that matches that reference citation. This one tells you how to do quoting and paraphrasing in APA. This is an online LibGuide where it just has a ton of resources. And this is a PowerPoint that tells you all about using APA 7th edition if you're not familiar with it. So if you have any questions, you can email me and ask. You can also refer to these documents. We also have tutoring available, which I'll talk to you guys about in just a second. If you bear with me on this first video, it might be a little lengthy, but everything in here is going to be super beneficial and important for you guys, okay? So I would definitely encourage you to take a look in the extra credit module and the APA resources module. Now, as I said, module 1, we're doing introduction in MLK. So what you're going to do is you're going to scroll through here and you're going to complete all the assignments that are in here. I'll go through this again, but make sure you scroll all the way down to the bottom. There are 95 points in this first week, which sounds like a lot, but some of them are just kind of give me points when you get things done. So I'm going to go over that with you so you don't feel overwhelmed. But since there are 95 points this first week, that is almost 1 full letter grade. It's super important that you guys get started off to a productive start and don't like waste time picking up this first week or 2 because you don't want to miss these easy points. So what I have in here is a little overview. I've put this in here because there's a lot in the module, and you're certainly free to use this module however you want. But I put this little checklist in here because I think it'll help show you the order in which I think this makes sense to work through things. But when you come through the module, you'll see that there's a pre-survey of ethical issues. Everybody needs to do this assignment. It's a requirement for the course. I realize now it says 10 points, but it's actually going to be worth 20, I believe. I think I added some points to it. Everybody who takes this course in all sections has to do this pre-survey. And at the last week, you're going to do a post-survey, which is the exact same survey again. And what it's doing is it's just, measuring your ethical decision-making before the course and by the end of the course to see how you grow throughout the course, okay? And so this is the first thing you're supposed to do before you do anything else in the class, before you get influenced anywhere else. It won't take you very long, maybe 10, 15 minutes. It gives you some questions. I never see the answers. There are no like right or wrong answers per se. You just answer the questions. When you complete it, take a screenshot of the thing that says you've completed it and upload it to this Dropbox, and I'll give you the points. If you forget to screenshot that completion thing, all you do if you try to go back and do the survey again, it'll give you a message that says that a survey has already been submitted for this student. Screenshot that and upload that, and I'll know that you've taken it. All you have to do is click this link right here, and it takes you right into the survey, okay? After that, there's a little web page here about understanding plagiarism, a thing about how to avoid plagiarism. You definitely want to look through those, and you want to look through the SBC academic policy, because we do take plagiarism seriously in the ethics department. If there's any department where we need to be stronger on academic honesty, it's clearly the ethics department, where this whole class is about what the right and wrong thing to do is, and cheating is never the right thing to do. There's not a single ethical framework that we're going to study this semester that would justify cheating in your coursework. So we're really we stand firm on that in this department. Okay, so check through those resources, because the next thing you're going to do after the survey, you're going to take the module 1 quiz for the syllabus and academic honesty. This is another 20-point assignment. This is a 20-question quiz where it asks you questions about the syllabus and questions about academic honesty. It says to take this quiz until you get 100. This quiz has unlimited attempts, so you can take it over and over and over again until you get 100. Now, in a sense, I'm kind of a libertarian. I'm not going to force you guys to do anything you don't want to do. If you get less than 100 and you're happy with it, so be it. But you'd be foolish not to take advantage of that full 20 points, because that's 2% of your overall grade in the class. Every 10 points is 1%. So you should get those points and start off kind of strong, okay? Now, there's some videos here that we have from faculty members. One thing that's really good about this online class, the way you have it built, is since unfortunately you don't get to have lectures like you would on a face-to-face class, we put supplemental videos created by our faculty in each of the modules. They'll be under the thing that says PHI 1600 videos, Introduction to Ethics in this case, Moral Development next week, et cetera, but look for the thing that says videos. Some have a few, and then some have a lot. I've put these right in here, instead of you clicking to see the links, I put them right on the front page so you guys will hopefully see them. They're not very long for each one of these, but this will kind of give you a good idea of what the ethics environment is about and what we're going to be doing over the next 3 months or so for our class. So I would definitely recommend watching those videos. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do the chapter 1 smart book quiz. And this is, after you read chapter 1 and take your notes, you go on and take the quiz. When you take the quiz, it's actually pretty cool. So when you click that link, it's going to tell you to launch. These are already connected to that textbook that I showed you guys a few minutes ago. So when you click launch, mine looks a little different, but I go to the preview. It's going to take you to this page. Now it tells you, it's pretty cool. It tells you how long the estimated time it'll take you to take the quiz. This is based off of all the users who have taken it. It tells you when it's due. So you'll see it's due on the 18th, which is next Sunday. And it tells you 15 concepts. Now you have 2 choices here. You can click here and you can start reading. And so that'll take you into the chapter and you can read. Or if you're ready to start the quiz, you can click here and start questions. And it tells you, some tips for the assignment. And then you go. Now what's really cool here is you pick your answer. It's going to tell you to pick your confidence, high, medium, low on there to see how well you can depict like whether or not you know this stuff. What's really cool is technically an open book quiz. If you are reading and you have a hard time with this concept, you can click read about the concept and it jumps you to the part in the book where that concept is covered. And then when you're ready, you can go back to questions and you can answer the question. Okay. So I would definitely, take your time on these quizzes, make sure you learn the concepts, make sure you're not rushing through so you don't have to keep answering question after question. But again, these are completion based and you'll get the 15 points when you finish it at the end. There are, I think it's like 13 or 14 of these. So this will be another good chunk, another grade level and a half on your quizzes. I can't remember offhand. So definitely want to make sure you do these quizzes and get all your points on those as well. It's going to help you understand the concepts, okay? So after you do the quiz, now you're ready to do your assignment. Now, this week's assignment is a Dropbox and a discussion board. So throughout this semester, you're going to have two kinds of assignments. You're going to have some that are just Dropbox assignments, where the assignment just comes to me for grading, and others you're going to have their Dropbox/discussion board, which means you put them on a discussion board for your classmates to view and read and comment on. What this means, though, is you got to make sure you post in both places. Remember, the Dropbox is just where I grade it. The discussion board is where your classmates see it. If you don't put the assignment in both places, it's going to be a 0 because it's as if you didn't turn it in, especially if you never posted it on the discussion board, because nobody can see it. So make sure you follow the instructions to the T. I've got it all written out in the assignment, and that way you'll be sure to cover all your bases. Now, I have put my discussion post rubric in here for you to view. So I'll fill this out when I'm grading your discussion posts. You're going to get 5 points just for following the instructions, 5 points for following APA formatting and guidelines, 5 points for your reply post to your classmates, and 25 points for the content. It's kind of funny. Students always say, oh, he cares more about formatting than you do your content. But as you can see, 25 points, the largest chunk is the content. So I am really concerned about you writing quality content. To get a C on a 40-point assignment, you need 28 points, which means you can write solid content. You'd only need 1 point out of every other category. So no, I do not care more about formatting than I do content, but formatting is important because this is college level work. And the difference between a B and an A, in my opinion, is attention to detail across all aspects of an assignment, okay? So just use this as a guide to understand how I'm going to grade you on this assignment. So what you're going to do when you come here and you go do it, unfortunately, every time I click back, it goes all the way back to the beginning of the module. But what you're going to do is you're going to read the instructions and it tells you what to do. Essentially, after you read that letter to Birmingham Jail, you're going to do an assignment in 2 parts. Paragraph 1 is an introduction, 100 words minimum. Make sure you hit these minimums. In a well-written paragraph, please introduce yourself in a nice college level paragraph of at least 5 to 7 sentences. Tell us your first and last name and a nickname if you use one, what your major is, the city in which you live, and then tell us what you wish to share, some sort of hobbies, family, work, etc. Like, me, I always kind of start off and I tell people, my name is Professor Cruz. You call me Professor Cruz. Obviously, my major as an undergrad was actually in anthropology with a minor in English Lit. I currently live in Holiday, Florida. And for hobbies, I'm an adult Lego enthusiast, as you may be able to see somewhere behind me. Lots of Legos up on the wall, okay? So just tell us a little something about yourself. Then what you're going to do in the second paragraph, in another 100-word minimum, you're going to kind of summarize and synthesize what Dr. King says about just and unjust laws in his letter from Birmingham Jail. I don't want you just to scratch the surface level. I want you to dig deep into that letter and find the good stuff. I want you to provide proper in-text citations. I want you to use APA formatting like we talked about, and I want you to paraphrase only. In my class, absolutely, positively, never will you use direct word for word quotes. And I consider something a direct quote when it's 5 or more words in the same order in which the author used it. There is nothing that you're going to read that you can't put in your own words. And I want you to do that because, one, it puts the information in your voice and it doesn't break up the flow of your writing because it just you just keep going in your voice the whole time and all you do is give us the information. And 2, it shows that you can actually digest what you've just read and regurgitate it out on your paper in a way that makes sense. Anybody can copy and paste a direct quote, but you may not understand what that direct quote means. And yes, after you paraphrase, you still put an in-text citation for the textbook after it, because while the words might be yours, the idea isn't. And if you turn this thing in without good citations, it's not going to be able to get a grade. So you have to make sure we cover ourselves against plagiarism. Okay. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out or seek help from a tutor. Then I would urge you to look through the submission checklist and make sure you've covered all the aspects. Some of the big things here that I'm going to harp on a lot, and students are always going to do, even though they're not supposed to, do not write in second person you. Do not talk directly to me as a reader. So when you say, when you do this and you do that, you're talking to me. Don't talk to me. First or third person only. First person, if I've asked you to reflect on something you've personally done. So in this first paragraph, for sure, first person. And then third person point of view when I'm not asking you to write about anything you've done. So like your second paragraph in this assignment should not include any personal pronouns like I, me, we, us, our, because you're talking about something Dr. King did, and that doesn't have anything to do with you. So make sure you keep your point of view shifts in check here, okay? So what you do, you're going to set this up like it's a full APA paper. You're going to give me a title page. You're going to give me a page with those 2 paragraphs, and you're going to give me a reference page where you do a reference for the textbook, since you're taking information from the textbook, and you're going to put that in the Dropbox, which is literally right here. You just click on this and it takes you to the Dropbox. Now, once you post it in the Dropbox, you're halfway there, okay? After you post the Dropbox, then I want you to come down to the discussion board. I want you to click on the discussion board. I want you to just copy the 2 paragraphs in your reference page. I don't need your title page on here. And you're going to start a new thread. So when you start a new thread, you're going to put a title in. You're going to paste those 2 body paragraphs in your reference, and then you're going to post it. Okay. Once you've done that, now you've done the assignment. You've submitted it once it's been in both places. Okay. So once you have it in the Dropbox and on the discussion board, it is submitted, and you have to do both of those on time, and they have to be the same. You can't change it once you've put it on the discussion board, or vice versa with the Dropbox. That defeats the purpose. Remember, the Dropbox is just for me to grade, and it goes through our plagiarism detector, turnitin.com. And then the discussion board is where your classmates can see it. And this is due on the 16th. Okay, so you do both of those by Friday of this first week. Okay, and then so you have the discussion boards due Friday, and then you have to do a reply post by Sunday. So whenever you have a discussion board assignment, you have to get those turned in by Friday, and then we have to do a reply post by Sunday. Okay, the reply post is part of the assignment. This is why you see here, it says due February 15th, which is Friday. It says available February 18th. It's available to February 18th because that is going to be your reply post date. Please don't confuse that with the due date of the discussion board. It goes in on Friday. It tells you that in both of the assignment places. See, to receive credit, your initial discussion post must be posted by Friday. The reply post must be posted by Sunday, okay? In the reply post, it's a minimum 50 words, and I want you to reply to your classmates in a way in which it shows that you have carefully thought about and read their post, and I want you to reply to both parts of their post. I want you to reply to something, say something about what they said about their introduction, and then something about their take on Dr. King's just and unjust laws. Don't just do one part or the other. I want you to comment to both parts of their discussion. And then when you get through that, you're essentially done for this first week, okay? So it seems like a lot, but like I said, it's going to go quick. One thing is just a survey. Another thing is take it till you get 100 points quiz or 100% quiz. And then the other one is the chapter quiz, which is basically open book. And then you just do that 2-paragraph assignment and put it into the Dropbox and the discussion board. and then that'll have you set for the first week. One other thing I want to show you guys on the course homepage, you will see that there is, well, I got to put it in student mode first, so it looks like when you guys sign in. You'll see that there is a library and tutoring tab right here. Just because you're an online student doesn't mean that you have to go at this thing alone. We do have tutoring services available in person and online. Now, I realize some of you will actually be on-campus students as well, so you're welcome to go into any of our library and learning centers to get help. But if you can't, you still have online tutoring where you can get writing help with your assignments and research help with not only like research stuff we're going to look at later on the semester, but those APA formatting and guidelines. Librarians can help with that, and writing tutors can help with that. So like, let's say you need help with your citation, you click here, you go on research, okay? You see, these are all the different people you could pick. You'll see my name there. Feel free to use me. This is not office hours though, so don't come to me about little things for the class. This would be about actual librarian work of looking over your APA and your citations, stuff like that. If you got questions, email me separately, okay? If you have no preference, it just shows you all the times that are available. If you want to pick a specific person, you can do that too. You click the day you want, you click the time you want. When you continue to the booking form, you fill out some information, and what's going to happen is it's going to email you a link to a Zoom meeting, and that librarian's going to meet with you at that time. You guys will have a meeting face-to-face via Zoom, and you'll get the help that you need. And you'll see that we have, look, like most days, all the way up till about 7 or 8 o'clock at night, you can get help, and there is help available on the weekends. As you can see, next Sunday, there's appointment availabilities, right? You can't book an appointment within like 2 hours of the time, so make sure you're planning out ahead, but you can plan an appointment a week in advance. So if you want to get writing help, it's the same exact process. You click here and you'll pick other, because we're not comp 1 or comp 2, and the same thing, you could pick a writing tutor or just a time and a date, and you can get help with that as well. So I'll definitely suggest that you do that throughout the semester. The only catch there is if you want to get help from the tutors, you got to make sure you start in enough time to where you could do that. And then we also have our online library and things like that here as well. Well, for now, that's all I've got for you guys. I know it's like a bit of a longer video. Hopefully you saw it through to the end, because there was a lot of good stuff in here that I think is going to be very beneficial for you guys to get started in this first week. But I am like super excited to work with you guys. A lot of teachers say, email me if you need anything. I mean it. When I say that, please reach out, ask me for help. It's like Dumbledore, right? Like, help is available at Hogwarts. If you ask for it, Harry, you're Harry, I'm Dumbledore, I'm here to help. Just ask me when you need it, okay? Outside that, I look forward to the next 12 weeks and working with you guys and getting into some exciting topics. And if you need anything, reach out. If not, good luck, good journey through ethics. Let's start getting these assignments in early so we can be successful in the course. I guess that's it, and I will talk to you guys later.